T-minus 15 seconds and the sound suppression water system has been activated.
10.
We have a go for main engine start. 3 engines up and ready. 3, 2, 1, 0. Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery, blazing a trail to scientific discoveries aboard Space Station.
Houston, Discovery, roll program.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
This is Mission Control Houston. Space Shuttle Discovery is rolling into a heads-down position, putting it on course for 51.6 degree, 136 by 36 statute line orbit, and eventually the International Space Station.
Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Heidi and I'm so excited to have you with me for another daily discovery with FCMoD. Today I'd like to introduce you to one pretty amazing woman from right here in northern Colorado. Raise your hand if you love space. I do. I love learning about the stars and the planets and especially space exploration, and I think that NASA is pretty cool. NASA stands for the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. It's the government agency here in the United States that explores the universe and sends astronauts to space. How many of you would like to be an astronaut someday? Astronauts come from all over the world, but did you know there is an astronaut from right here in Fort Collins? She grew up in Fort Collins and Loveland, and her name is Dorothy Metcalf-Lindenburger. Here's a picture of her. Growing up, she loved science, and when she was in 8th grade, maybe the age of some of you, she went to NASA's Space Camp, which is where kids can take on the challenge of training like an astronaut. While she was there, she discovered that she loved space, and she realized, if I work hard in math and science, it's a possibility that one day I could work for NASA. So she did just that. She worked hard to do her very best in school, and she went to Fort Collins High School, right here in town. When she graduated, she went on to study geology and education in college. And because she knew how important it was to learn about space, she became a teacher. One day, a student asked her, "How do astronauts go to the bathroom in space?" And she thought, how do astronauts go to the bathroom in space? So she did what any good scientist does. She researched to find an answer. Now, I'll let you do your own research to find the answer to that question, but I can tell you that while Dorothy Metcalf-Lindenburger was doing her research, she discovered that NASA was hiring teachers to become astronauts. So of course she applied. And in 2004, all her hard work paid off when she was selected to become an astronaut candidate. An astronaut candidate is someone who is training at NASA to become an astronaut, someone qualified to go to space. An astronaut candidate has to learn a lot of science and engineering. They have to learn how to live and work on the International Space Station, or ISS. Back in 2004, they had to learn how to fly the space shuttle, which is how astronauts got to space. And she also had to learn how to fly a T-38 supersonic. In 2008, Dorothy Metcalf-Lindenburger became an official NASA astronaut, which meant she was qualified to be selected for a mission to space. She was chosen to fly on STS-131 as a mission specialist. STS stands for Space Transportation Systems. It's a fancy way of saying she flew on a space shuttle mission, Mission 131. A mission specialist is someone who works with pilot astronauts to make sure the mission is a success, and they carry out experiments and other activities while in space. On April 5th, 2010, Dorothy Metcalf-Lindenburger blasted off to the space station on board Space Shuttle Discovery. Here's STS-131. Dorothy Metcalf-Lindenburger is right here. And here she is on board the space station. Looks like a lot of fun to me. She took several things with her on her flight to space. She took a flight suit, a helmet, some gloves. You can actually see these items at the museum. Next time you visit, see if you can find them on exhibit. She also took one pretty special friend with her. Remember how I told you that she went to Fort Collins High School? Well, Fort Collins High School's mascot is the lambkin, and she took a small stuffed lambkin with her, Space Clyde, on her flight to space. You can also see him in our exhibit next time you visit the museum. Dorothy Metcalf-Lindenburger traveled 6,232,235 miles on 238 Earth orbits while she was on board the space station. That is a long ways. Her mission delivered supplies and equipment to the ISS, and she also worked as an intravehicular crew member. That's the person inside the space station who's helping astronauts outside the space station on a spacewalk. After she returned to Earth, she kept working for NASA as a Cape Crusader. A Cape Crusader is an astronaut on the ground who communicates between astronauts in space on board the space station or the space shuttle, and between Kennedy Space Center in Florida and Johnson Space Center or Mission Control in Houston, Texas. They're kind of like the space shuttle's eyes and ears on the ground. It's a very important job. She did this for the last 3 space shuttle missions. In 2012, she was also selected for a pretty cool mission here on Earth. She served as the commander on board NASA's Extreme Environment Mission Operation, or NEMO, Mission 16. On this mission, she and 4 other aquanauts lived and worked on board an underwater habitat. You can see her in this picture right here. They did pretend spacewalks and tested equipment that could be used in the future to explore a near-Earth asteroid. Pretty cool. All her hard work sounds incredible to me, and I don't know about you, but being an astronaut sounds like a pretty amazing job. Dorothy Metcalf-Lindenburger retired from the astronaut corps in 2014, but she still works as a geologist today in 2020, and she still thinks that education and working hard are very important. In fact, she's an example that hard work and education can take you anywhere, even to space. And her advice for all of you, always be curious. Thank you for joining me and Fort Collins Museum of Discovery today. We hope you learned something exciting. For more activities and fun explorations, visit FCMoD.org/programs. See you next time.